Hello again. This is Houndawg with you in another historical aircraft from the past 100 years of U.S. Navy carrier aviation. Today is February 1974, and we are in the Navy's Advanced Anti-Submarine Warfare, or ASW, Lockheed S-3 Viking.
Radio check, 123, 321, radio check. By the late 1950s, the post-World War II Cold War had escalated into a nuclear arms race and a rapid advancement of nuclear submarines capable of launching nuclear cruise missiles and intercontinental ballistic missiles. The new nuclear-class submarines were now capable of remaining submerged for extended periods of time, making them more and more difficult to detect. By the mid-1960s, the U.S. Navy had begun the development of an advanced heavier-than-air anti-submarine experimental aircraft known as the FSX program to replace the outdated Grumman S-2 tracker. In August 1968, the Navy requested that the two teams of Lockheed Wing-Timco Vought and Convair Grumman further develop proposals for the new S-3A. 3 months later, in December 1968, the Soviet Union launched the new Papa-class fast attack nuclear submarine, designed specifically to intercept and attack aircraft carrier groups. The new Soviet sub had a double titanium hull and was capable of a top speed of 45 knots. It carried a payload of 10 anti-ship missiles tipped with 200 kiloton nuclear warheads with a 35-mile range. On 4 August 1969, the Lockheed LTV design was selected as the winner of the VSX design competition, and 8 YS-3A prototypes were ordered. The new S-3 had a high wing that swept 15 degrees and spanned almost 69 feet, with 2 wing-mounted engine nacelles enclosing General Electric TF-34 turbofans, capable of 9,275 pounds of thrust. The wing sections outboard of the engine nacelles hydraulically folded at overlapping angles, reducing the span to less than 30 feet. Each wing included leading-edge flaps outboard of the engines, a single slotted Fowler flap on the trailing edge inboard of the ailerons, a set of spoilers on top, and a spoiler air brake under the wing. The large vertical swept tail fin provided excellent maneuverability, especially during low-speed single-engine landings, and also folded for hangar deck clearance. The tail flight control surfaces were conventional, and there were trim tabs on both the ailerons and elevators. The pilot and co-pilot used control sticks instead of yokes to actuate the dual hydraulically boosted systems, and an emergency flight control system allowed manual control with higher input forces. All 4 crew members faced forward in McDonnell Douglas Escape Pack 00 ejection seats within a pressurized cockpit. The pilot and co-pilot enjoyed excellent visibility under the expansive clear canopy, while the sensor operator, or SENSO, and the tactical coordinator, or TACO, had only small dark tinted windows that allowed better viewing of their tactical displays. These windows could be jettisoned for emergency escape and rescue. The crew entered through a small door with steps that folded down from the right side of the fuselage. A hydraulic accumulator was used to start a turbine auxiliary power unit, or APU, which provided electrical power and high-pressure bleed air for the engine's pneumatic starters and air conditioning. A retractable refueling probe could be extended directly above the windscreen. The single-wheel main gear was developed from LTV's F-8 Crusader and retracted back into the fuselage, while the twin-wheel nose gear, derived from the A-7 Corsair, retracted backwards into the nose. A yoke-type arresting hook was fitted under the aft fuselage. The S-3 was capable of carrying a payload of 4,000 2,900 pounds. 2 wing hardpoints could carry fuel tanks, bombs, missiles, rockets, or cargo pods, and 4 internal bomb bay stations could carry general-purpose bombs, aerial torpedoes, and tactical nuclear gravity bombs. The nose-mounted long-range search and navigation radar could detect periscopes in high seas, as well as map coastlines at 150 nautical miles. 60 tubes under the rear belly carried 59 sonobuoy chutes and a single search and rescue SAR chute. A retractable magnetic anomaly detector, or MADBOO, was fitted in the tail to detect the metallic hull of submarines. The S-3 was fitted with an electronic countermeasure system to detect hostile radar and deploy a combination of up to 90 rounds of chaff, flares, and expendable jammers from 3 dispensers. The YS-3A prototype's first flight was on 21 January 1972, with Lockheed test pilot John Christensen and co-pilot Lyle Schaefer at the controls. The flight was highly successful and was soon followed in April 1972 by a Navy contract for the first production S-3As. Carrier qualifications began in November 1973, and the new officially named Viking began Navy service on 20 February 1974 with the VS-41 Shamrocks Training Squadron at NAS North Island, San Diego, California. The S-3 Viking's first operational cruise was in February 1975 with the VS-21 Fighting Redtails aboard the U.S. John F. Kennedy CV-67. The S-3 was designed for efficiency and not for high performance. The Viking had a maximum not-to-exceed speed of only 450 knots, but could fly 2,300 miles and loiter over 10 hours. The S-3 proved to be very docile and easy to fly, even at maximum takeoff weights. It was surprisingly maneuverable with a tight turning circle. The engine outperformance was also excellent, requiring only minor throttle adjustments on the good engine and input from the big tail fin to maintain safe control. The S-3's large wing area made it sensitive to wind gusts, especially from the ship's so-called burble or turbulent air at the round down, and had a tendency to float down the deck on landings. In late 1984, the Soviets' new stealth deep-diving Akula-class submarine first put to sea, and it immediately changed the way anti-submarine warfare would be conducted in the future. In early 1987, Lockheed began converting 119 existing S-3As under the Weapons Systems Improvement Program to upgrade the Viking's radar and combat avionics and add the enhanced attack capability to launch the newly developed McDonnell Douglas AGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship cruise missile. With the 1989 collapse of the Warsaw Pact, the Russian submarine threat was perceived to be reduced, and the Viking squadrons were redesignated Sea Control Squadrons, with multi-role missions including sea and ground surface attack, over-the-horizon targeting, dedicated aerial refueling tanker, and carrier onboard delivery or COD support. 188 Vikings were produced, and during 41 years of active Navy service, the S-3 participated in every major conflict in the Middle East and Mediterranean. By late 2015, the U.S. Navy had 3 remaining Vikings operational in support roles. On 11 January 2016, the last S-3 in Navy service was officially retired and transferred to NASA, where it is used for experimental research.